Holy shindig, guys. This has got to be the biggest nerf in anime history. I was not expecting this. This is beyond comprehension. Imagine this is season 4, all right? Season 4 of Ray Zero Star Life Another World, episode 7. Imagine the past 3 seasons. You've maxed out your psychological, your endurance, you know how we've all played video games before, right? And we've died over and over. We failed so many times, time and time again, just to perfect our gaming. And we gain our skills, we gain our dexterity. We eat our Doritos and drink our Red Bull or Monster, whatever the fuck you drink. We're eating all our protein. We're staying hydrated as gamers. All right, and we grind 5 hours on a game. We train time and time again. We get so good at the game that we're now at the level 100 tower, the boss level of bosses. Well, not necessarily the end game, but we're damn near the end game. And then they Thanos snap all our skills, they Thanos snap all our experience, they Thanos snap everything that we learned, and we gotta start from zero again, from Ray fucking Zero. Oh, this has got to be the biggest nerf I've ever seen. This is insanity. I don't know how Subaru's gonna cope. They literally erased all his memories, all his training, all his dexterity, his mental fortitude. If you guys remember back in season 1, this guy was a coward, and for lack of a better word, he was a bitch. Every time he would die, he'd cry. He'd wake up like, what happened? I can't do this. I gotta give up. I don't want to do this. Then he would fail, and then his PTSD would grow more and more and more. The PTSD is real. When you're grinding at a game, you lose and lose time and time again to the point where you're just so good, that PTSD is gone. You start to realize that failing is normal. You start to realize that these trials and tribulations are just part of it. But for him, it's even worse because it's pain. He's actually feeling pain. Stabbing. Every time he died, he would really actually feel the pain of death. And then he would return back. And then that pain is still lodged deep inside his psyche. And so he got to the point where I was just so proud of him because he stopped being a little bitch and he actually became a man. Actually, he became too much of a man to the point where he didn't even worry about Emilia in season 3. He was like, "Oh, I gotta take care of business first, and then in the meantime, gonna take care of Emilia on the side." It's like Emilia's now just a side quest for him back in season 3, and I was kind of like, "What the fuck?" He died a little too much. All right, he took PTSD a little too good. A little too well, if you ask me. But no, I was just so proud of him. He's navigating, he's leading, he has confidence. He pushes himself and doesn't collapse. His mental fortitude is there. He doesn't feel as fatigued as he used to be. He'd had these like big panda eyes. Back in season 1 and season 2, he was just taking so much damage. I don't know if any of you guys have been beat up before, but you get beat up so much, you just feel so worn and torn, and just life is just too much. But when you're at Subaru's level, or even at my level, you know what I'm saying? I've been through so much bullshit where it's like it doesn't even faze me no more. That's the level Subaru is at. And so he goes up these damn stairs. He thinks it's a good. I think he concocted a really good idea, because like I said, he's such high level now. I'm confident that he's going to figure this shit out. But no, they nerfed him. They took away all his memories, all his XP, all his... Oh my god, this is good. Oh, this is just evil. This is beyond evil. Imagine, like I said, grinding 500 hours. They take away your armor, your blades. They take away everything. And even your skills, they take away all of that, and they're like, all right, level 100, you're level 100, you gotta deal with this bullshit. It's like, oh, fuck. Bro, this is torture, man. He was there, man. This dude was like, he's facing the end game. Now he's back to zero. Now, I don't know how much they took away from him. maybe he still knows his skills, like his his shamak. I don't know what they call it, or his arm thingy. Maybe he still has the skills, or maybe he still knows maybe he still has some of his memories and his experience of the PTSD. Maybe his mental fortitude is there. It's not like they can take away everything, right? It's like we got like finger reflexes at that point. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's got his reflexes still. I don't know how much they really nerfed him. But if we remember season 1, he was the biggest fucking bitch, crybaby in the planet. It was kind of insufferable. I remember season 1. You can kind of realize that, yeah, he's just an amateur. Of course, no one's gonna like dying. So I couldn't really beat him up for that. For being a bitch. Death. We're never gonna experience death back to back unless you're me, because I've almost died like 3-4 times in my life. It's not something you get used to unless you resurrect time and time again. Or you're just so thankful for life. You're like, oh, I'm just happy to be alive. What more can I say? The dude's gonna have, he's coming into this at least optimistically. We saw in season 1 as well. He was very optimistic. He thought he was gonna have superpowers. Like, oh shit, I just got Isekai. I probably have some magical powers or some hidden secrets. Nah, motherfucker. You're just a normal dude with a shamak that doesn't really do much of anything. Maybe you can hide away from people with it. I don't even remember what it was used for. And then he has maybe his his invisible hands. I forgot what it's called. Maybe that can be helpful, but it really takes a toll on him, if I remember correctly. And so the one thing he had really going for him was his return from death. But now he has to revisit all that PTSD. And let's not forget, while they could help him out and be like, hey, look, this is where we're at. This is what happened. They'll probably realize that he lost his memories. So they'll probably try to fill him in. But how the fuck did he lose them? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm hearing the 6th arc. That's what they're calling this. The 6th arc. More like, and then someone in the Myanimelist said, this ain't the 6th arc. This is goddamn back to arc 1. The dude's back to arc 1. Like here, people were talking on Myanimelist here. They're like, yeah, I was reading some of it. I couldn't really, there's too much shit here. But yeah, someone was saying here, what do you mean welcome to the arc 6? More like welcome to arc 1. So yeah, welcome to arc 6. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but this is insane, man. This is the biggest nerf ever, man. Holy fuck. Don't know what to make of this. Don't know what's gonna go on. Everything, Subaru, like I said, he's gonna be optimistic as fuck, but it seems he's lost his memory. And let the show begin. Let the show. Well, I think it looks like he's getting his memories back little by little. So who knows? Maybe he'll get his memories back. Maybe he'll get something else. I don't know what's gonna go on, but the party is getting started, man. And this is. R.I.P. Subaru, man. I hope he makes it out. I'm pretty sure he will. I mean, this anime is all about him, but we shall see.